Hey guys, Jared Garcia, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Come check out our website at iSpeakRealty.com. Today I have a special guest, Rob Hill with VanDyk Mortgage is here with us today. Thanks so much for being here, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Today we're going to be talking about an MFA product called HomeNow. And Rob, go ahead and tell us just a little bit about it and we can kind of go from there.
Yeah, so if you are familiar with MFA, then obviously you know about First Home and Next Home. Well, they came out with a new one in September called HomeNow. HomeNow is basically like the first down that you had with First Home, where you were getting up to $8,000 of your down payment assistance for you, and it's free money, as they say, not really. But after 10 years, that second mortgage, it's a 0% interest rate, so you're not paying a monthly payment. Over 10 years, it is forgiven. So at that point, you can sell it, refinance it, or rent it out, do what you want.
After the 10 years?
Right, but if you do that within the 10 years, then that $8,000 or however much you did borrow, less of that, right, has to be paid back.
Okay, cool. So what is the credit score requirement for this type of program?
So just like all the other MFA loans, 620.
620. So if you have somebody who has a 600 or something, are you able to give them some assistance and point them in the right direction a little bit?
We can absolutely point them in the right direction, especially with VanDyk. We do have no overlays, so if MFA isn't the choice for you, we have USDA, FHA.
Okay.
Those loans go down to 580 credit score.
So what's an overlay?
An overlay, for those of you who don't know, are basically a bank will say, well, we're not going to lend to anybody below, say, 600 credit score.
Okay.
Whereas Fannie Mae, Fannie Mae being conventional, they're the ones that set that guideline of the minimums.
Nice.
Yeah.
So just so everybody knows, it's a new product, 620 credit score. If you guys have any problems with credit, we can definitely help you out there, point you in the right direction. First thing first is to get pre-qualified, right? To see if you even qualify for the program, right? And then if we find out that it's less than 620, then we can kind of guide them a little bit, maybe get them with a credit restoration company, something like that.
Well, I like to always do a what-if scenario, or just sort of we can do some things on our end. We have tools in our toolbox to help people with that and give you your marching orders and tell you exactly what you need to get to what score and how long it'll take.
Is there income requirements for this program?
There are. Actually, most importantly about HomeNow, the income requirements are actually a little bit less than First Home. So that's sort of, I believe it says on their website the 80% area.
Of the area, income. So you have to figure out what area. And
so that's kind of my job. That's what I do. I figure out how many people in the household and what's the household income and all that fun stuff. So.
What type of things does a buyer need to bring in to qualify? Do they need check stubs? What do they need to get you?
Right, yeah. So, for a pre-approval, right, so we've gotten all your documents, we've sent it to the underwriter, and everything's good to go.
Right.
All those documents would be like you were saying, 30 days of pay stubs, and then 2 years of tax returns, 2 years of W-2s or 1099s if you're self-employed, last 2 months of bank statements, driver's license, and I believe a borrower's authorization.
You guys go through a whole checklist.
Yeah, we have a checklist. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it now.
Yeah, you don't need all this right now, but be prepared, guys, because this is what you need to get qualified. There's a lot of lenders out there that will do an application over the phone, but they never get the paperwork. At VanDyk Mortgage, they'll send your paperwork through their underwriting process, try to get you a pre-approval versus a pre-qualification. So their underwriters have looked at all that paperwork. They've looked at your W-2s, your check stubs, your bank statements, your income requirements. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, so the last thing you want is to get that underwriter approval halfway through the process when you're under contract.
Right.
And there was something going on.
Exactly. And with our experience with buyers who have a pre-approval in hand, actually can beat out buyers who don't have an approval, obviously, or even have a qualification letter. We had, in the past, worked with VanDyk Mortgage, and we had a pre-approval in hand, and we were in a multiple offer situation. And we beat them out. Why? Because our approval was actually stamped and saying it went through underwriting. The rest of the buyers actually just had a pre-qual letter pending a lot of the stuff. So we were able to say, look, VanDyk did all this work up front and was able to provide me this letter. So it's really good, guys, if you guys are looking at a first-time homebuyer program. Is it just for first-time homebuyer program? This
HomeNow is a first-time homebuyer program. MFA, and we can talk about that at a later time. They have their Next Home, which is, you don't have to be a first-time homebuyer.
Right. Okay. So how much do they give you? Was it $8,000 that they allot you?
Up to $8,000, which can go towards closing costs and your down payment.
And down payment.
It's good to know.
So working with realtors like myself, when we go and you tell me, hey, I have $8,000 towards down payment and closing costs. What we try to do is obviously, if we're representing the buyer, try to get the seller to pay some closing costs so you guys don't eat up that whole $8,000, right? So there are things that we can do to help you negotiate so you're not using the full $8,000. Maybe you only need $6,500 of it. Maybe you only need $6,000. Really, who knows? It depends on the property, depends on a lot of different factors. But anything else you can tell us about the MFA product, the next home, first home, products, anything else you want to discuss?
I think that just about covers it. You know, I think the last thing actually, if I can peg it, so we did the $8,000. It's up to $8,000.
Okay.
And then you have to be a first-time home buyer, and the income limits are a little more restrictive than your standard first home. But the last thing
post the income requirements on the post. We'll post those down below if you guys. Yeah, we'll post the link to MFA so you can see the income requirements. I know we don't have them all right here in front of us, but they changed too. Wasn't there some changes too?
Some changes happen all the time, obviously.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do is keep you abreast of the situation.
Can you buy a rental property? Can you be an investor? You can't, right? You have to actually own or occupy the house. Or?
For this program, yes.
Right. Okay. Cool. Cool.
The one thing I wanted to mention is the $500 down. They do require $500 minimum of your own money, so it can't be a gift from a relative. Can't be.
And I just posted this, guys, on our site. Is how does the $500 program actually work? This is how it works. You get qualified. You get some assistance. You get the $8,000. We help negotiate your down payment, your closing costs. All you need is $500 out of your own pocket that can be verified that it's actually your money, right? Right. Yeah. Can you borrow that money, that $500 from family and that type of stuff if you want?
You can use gift funds in this program, but like I was saying, that minimum is a requirement of $500, and anything else after that could potentially be a gift. So, like if you're in a scenario where your purchase price is outside that limit of $8,000, then you're looking at maybe getting either seller credit, as you were saying before, or get money if you don't have it, kind of thing.
So yeah, there's seller credits. Let's talk about that. Seller credits in negotiating. A seller credit, what is that? It's basically it is what it is. Basically what it said, right? Seller credit. They're going to credit you a certain amount of money towards your closing costs. Actually, down payment, they can't credit towards down payment, I don't believe. Is that right? It has to actually go towards...
Well, yeah, not necessarily down payment, but like what we call prepaid. So closing costs and prepaids. They can do the prepaids.
So there's a difference between down payment and closing costs. We can get some credit. Say your closing costs are $4,000. Well, we could ask the seller to give you a credit of $4,000 to offset that. And then all you have is your down payment. But the current restrictions, from what I understand, is a seller cannot actually give you funds towards a down payment. They go towards other credits, or they bring the price down, but they can't actually help you with your down payment anymore. It used to be that way. A while back.
Yeah, there's actually regulations, and we kind of, the way that our system works, structured weirdly, where there is like a minimum required investment, as they call it, for certain programs. If you weren't using this state bond program.
So 10 years, if you stay there, if you live there, you don't have to pay the $8,000 back.
Right.
And that differs from the first home program, which you have to pay the $8,000 back, correct?
Right, yeah. So it's a 6% interest rate over 30 years. So if you are using the full $8,000, it's always no more than $48 a month.
Awesome. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming, talking a little bit more. Guys, if you want more information, comment below. Share our post to those who are looking at buying a first-time home. We have programs available. This is a perfect program for somebody who doesn't have $10,000 in the bank, has maybe $1,000, $1,500 down, and we can help negotiate. We can get you qualified. If you don't qualify, we can help you get to that point. So guys, I do appreciate VanDyk and Rob Hill coming in today. So if you have any questions, post them down below, and we'll also give the income requirements in the comment section. Thanks so much, guys. Y'all have a great day.